Hello, everybody. This is Ash with Ash Unlocked, and I am like super geeked to introduce test prep tips. So that's what we're going to be talking about over the next course of the next few videos. This video is just going to introduce sort of an overview about things that I did to help me pass my licensed clinical social work exam in the first try. And I'll talk a lot about my experience and kind of specific things that I did to study for leading up to, and a specific format, a very specific thing that I did that helped me to manage my way through taking and passing my clinical exam for the first time. I think the passing score was like 116, and I don't know, I think I got like a 127 or 130 or something. It doesn't matter. It was a passing rate on the first try. And I really have just been waiting for an opportunity to share with my fellow social workers just tips. Now, be clear, these videos that where we're gonna talk about test prep and work through my method of what worked for me to study for and pass the exam successfully does not guarantee that these are the things that work for you. This is me sharing my experience, information that I have passed on to people that I know personally that have utilized this information, and it's been successful for them as well. So, take that as you may. Make sure you know how to study for yourself. Know what your strong points are. Know what your areas of improvement are. Know how the information works together. And although that's things that I'll be doing with you guys in this space, and sharing certain things, going through test prep questions and things like that, you still have to do that work for yourself, right? It's like if you when you were probably getting your master's, your teacher is going to give you information, tell you where to go to get additional information, but the critical thinking part, the application, that's your job to do. And people learn differently, they understand things differently. So this space is meant to just toss around some of that stuff, and but you still have to make sure that you go back and do your own personal work. And we'll talk about things that I did in my personal work too. All right, let's get it. So the first thing, and this is not a specific test strategy, but the most important thing that I would say about passing the test is making sure that you keep your body in a relaxed muscle state. Even if you don't have test anxiety and you're taking 170 200 question exam in one sitting, you are going to have moments of stress. And I know for me, those moments would build up, my heart would beat fast, and I would have like super overactive thought. And before you know it, I can't think straight to know which question to answer. Now, imagine if I had just continued the test this way and I didn't stop to go, okay, take a breath, slow down, relax your body. You are not thinking clearly. So I can say I would probably count at least 7 times that I did this, where I stopped, I put the mouse down, I relaxed back in my chair, and I took several deep breaths until my rational thinking started to return to me, where I could be able to process my way through these questions. If I had not done that at least 7 times, maybe even more, if I had not done that, I wouldn't be able to critically think my way through the exam. And I feel like that's something that's not talked about a lot. Like, we'll talk about, safety questions and clinical assessment. All those things matter, which I'll talk about what the format of my test was in a second. I actually haven't looked at the new test, so that's something that we'll do later on down the line. At any rate, all those things matter. That is the subject matter that you're going to be tested on. But you could know that stuff like the back of your hand, inside and out, through and through. But if you don't have access to it because you're so worked up, you're so anxious, and your thoughts are so overactive, then you might as well not know nothing. So make sure you keep yourself relaxed. Practice, even as you're studying, Practice relaxation skills. Like, I know for me, my attention span is pew, 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 pew. And I realized when I first started studying, which was 2 months before the exam, is when I started studying. I realized that my attention span, where I could actually study, retain information, understand what the feedback was, or if I did get feedback, depending on what kind of studying I was doing. After about 30 minutes, maybe 45, if I'm really, being well that day, I might as well not even be doing it. And so I knew that. So I would set a specific amount of time, 30, max 45 minutes at a time, once a day, maybe twice a day. But I didn't overwhelm or overburden myself with trying to review and retain and even get new information, because I knew that if I was going to be at my best in those 30 minutes. So that's what I was going to devote my time to, being the best, right? It's like quantity over quality, I suppose. I mean, that's kind of cliche, but facts in this case. So that's also a part of reading your internal radar, that's letting you know, like, if something is too much, or if you need a break. And that's something that you're going to want to do when you're studying, and especially when you are taking the exam.